The next topic is concentration of urine. So the concentration of the urine mainly depends on the body water content. Okay, so mainly depends on the body water content, the volume of water which is excreted from the body in the form of urine that can be altered. So mainly the concentration of the urine depends on the volume of water content in the body. So and also how much volume of water is excreted in the form of urine. Okay, so this is achieved by the kidney by a mechanism called counter current mechanism. Okay, so the concentration of the urine mainly depending on the body water content, the volume of water which is excreted from the body in the form of urine can be altered. Suppose in our body the water content is less, the kidney will adjust to excrete very concentrated urine, like that. Okay, so mainly the kidney perform this function through a counter current system. Okay, so we will see counter current system. So in the counter current system, so mainly there are two sub system is there. One is counter current multiplier. Okay, counter current multiplier and counter current exchanger. Okay, counter current multiplier and counter current exchanger. So counter current multiplier is contributed by loop of Henle of juxtamedullary nephron. So first class only I told there are two types of nephron. One is cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron. So in the juxtamedullary nephron there is a long loop of Henle. Okay, so this is loop of Henle. So that is mainly helps in concentration of urine. Okay, that is juxtamedullary nephron. So only the juxtamedullary nephrons are involved in concentration of urine. The next one is counter current exchanger. Okay, so counter current exchanger. So it is contributed by the vasa recta. So vasa recta is a blood vessel, the special type of blood vessel present in the juxtamedullary nephron. Okay, juxtamedullary nephron. So mainly the concentration of urine is maintained by the kidney by these two systems. One is counter current multiplier and counter current exchanger. So these two systems will helps in this operation. So mainly it has a flow in the two limbs will be in opposite direction. So that is, so this is loop of Henle. So here, so now the filtrate is passing through here. Okay, so it is come. So when it is going above, so ascending limb, so it is in opposite direction. This is coming down, this is going up. Okay, it is in opposite direction and these two limbs are parallel to each other. So parallel means like this, na, parallel to each other. So both are parallel to each other and going in opposite direction. So that is very important. So for the concentration of urine. Okay, so next we will go the how the counter current system will perform. So mainly because of the reason that there is a gradual increase in osmolarity, medullary osmolarity concentration is increasing. Okay, so if you see, so here suppose this is the cortex, this is the medulla, the kidney, you know, right? So in the cortex the osmolarity of the filtrate, okay, osmolarity of the filtrate is only 300 milliosmolar per liter. Okay, so when it is going to the interstitium, like it is when it is going to the inside the medulla, So in the nephron, the concentration of medullary interstitium is increasing. Okay, this osmolarity is increasing. So when it is coming to the outer zone of the medulla, it is 600, and in the inner zone and in the here inside it is very high, that is become 1200 milliosmolar of water in the renal papilla. So that is very important for the operation of counter current multiplier. Okay, so the operation of counter current system in the nephron, because the reason that there is a gradual increase in, so gradual increase in the osmolarity. Okay, gradual increase in the osmolarity of the interstitium. So from 300, when the filtrate is reaching the inside the medulla, so it becomes 600, and in the renal papilla it is 1200 milliosmolar water at the renal papilla. So that is mainly due to the operation of loop of Henle. Okay, loop of Henle of juxtamedullary nephron. So very important. So this loop of Henle acts as a counter current multiplier system. Okay, so next comes the counter current multiplier. So when during the process of concentration of urine, when the filtrate is passing through, so suppose this is one juxtamedullary nephron. Okay, so when the concentration is when the filtrate is passing through here, passing through the descending limb of Henle. Okay, descending this is the loop of Henle. So when it is passing through, this is the descending, so this is ascending limb. So in the descending limb, when the filtrate is passing through that, the water will keeps getting diffused from the tubule in the interstitium. So what will happen, the water, you can see here, so the water is getting diffused from the tubule into the interstitium. Okay, so it is going the water is going to the interstitium, okay, from the tubule. So which is hyperosmotic. Okay, so their osmolarity is very high. So now the filtrate osmolarity is very high. This helps in gradual increase in the osmolarity of the tubular fluid, that reaching the equilibrium with the surrounding interstitium. Okay, so now what will happen, so when the water is going outside from the tubule, so the filtrate which is present in the tubule, their osmolarity is going to high, that is it becomes 600, 800, and it become 1000 and 1200. Okay, due to the maximum 1200 milliosmolarity tubular fluid at the loop of this bending, so this is the bend portion, so that is 1200 osmolarity, this high osmolarity, because of this, so there is increase in concentration of osmotically active substances, because water is going to diffuse, so their osmotically active substances is go on increasing. Okay, osmotically active substances are going on increasing, and it will reach the maximum of 1200 in the bend portion of loop of Henle. Now that is in descending portion. Understood? In the descending portion, so what is happening when the so this is the descending loop of Henle and this is the ascending loop of Henle. So when it is passed, when the filtrate is passing through the descending loop of Henle, the water is going to diffuses into the interstitium. Okay, so in the filtrate, the osmotically active substances will be increasing, because water is not there, only the osmotically active substances is increasing, so it will reach the maximum of 1200 milliosmolarity. That means osmolarity is increasing in descending loop. Okay, now the filtrate on passing through here, it is going to ascending limb. So while ascending limb, the active co-transporter is sodium, potassium and chloride into the interstitium. So now what will happen? So here the substances like sodium, potassium and chloride, these are the osmotically active substances, so will be diffusing out. Okay, so when the filtrate is passing through the ascending limb, the sodium, potassium, chloride is diffusing into the interstitium, that is going out from the filtrate. So now the osmolarity go on decreasing, so it become 800, 600, next 400, 200 and it will reach 150. Okay, so now understood. So when the filtrate is passing through the descending loop of Henle, the water is getting diffuses, so the osmotically active substances will be increasing and the osmolality is increased, and at the loop of Henle, so it become 1200. So while ascending limb, when the filtrate is passing through the ascending limb, the sodium, potassium and chloride get diffuses out, so the osmolarity will decreases. Okay, osmolarity will decreases. Now the filtrate which is passing through the thick ascending limb, when it passes through here, it is impermeable to water. Okay, impermeable to water, so water will can't be diffuses into the filtrate, into the interstitium. Now this is impermeable to water, so water can't go outside, but when it is reaching the collecting duct, okay, when reaching the collecting duct, by the action of ADH, antidiuretic hormone, okay, by the action of antidiuretic hormone, that will incorporate water channels in the collecting duct, so the water get reabsorbed back into the interstitium and make it a hyperosmolarity. Now you can see, so it again it become 300, the water is getting reabsorbed, so it become high. Okay, 400, 600 and 800 and finally 1200 in the collecting duct. So finally what will happen? The hyperosmotic water urine can be excreted. Okay, this is about the counter current multiplier. Okay, counter current multiplier mainly to maintain the, to create the hyperosmolarity in the tubule. Okay, so how? So when the filtrate is passing through the descending loop of Henle, the water get reabsorbed, so the osmotically active substances concentration is increasing, so that will cause the hyperosmolarity of the filtrate. While passing through the ascending limb, the sodium, potassium, chloride ions get reabsorbed, so in the filtrate the osmolality will be decreasing. Okay, so when it reach the ascending limb of Henle, so here the water reabsorption is it is impermeable to water, so impermeable to water, so water diffusion is not taking place. While enter the collecting duct, due to action of antidiuretic hormone, so again the water get reabsorbed into the interstitium, medulla, into the medulla, so the urine get concentrated. So that is counter current multiplier. Okay, the same thing what I explained. So next coming to the counter current exchanger. Okay, so counter current exchanger is the main function of vasa recta. Okay, so you can see here, this is the one juxta medullary nephron. Okay, so this is a glomerulus. Whatever the red color is there, so that is vasa recta. Okay, so you can see in the all the tubular portion of juxtamedullary nephron, so these blood vessels get surrounding. Okay, so exchange of ions is taking place between the vasa recta and tubular portion. Okay, the efferent arteriole of juxtamedullary nephron will give rise to vasa recta, so which is highly permeable to water and solutes. Okay, so here there is an exchange of water and solutes between vasa recta and medullary interstitium is taking place. So that is a passive process. Okay, so we will see. Now when the blood, so suppose this is vasa recta. Okay, so this is medulla. Okay, medulla. So when the blood is passes through the descending limb, okay, blood is passing the descending limb, the water goes out. Okay, so water goes out and the solutes is also, the solutes will enter the capillaries. Okay, so from the vasa recta, so it is also a capillary, so water goes out and sodium chloride solutes will enter the here. Okay, so the when the same filtrate is passing through the ascending limb, there is an opposite action. The solute will goes out interstitium and water will enter the filtrate or into the capillaries. Okay, so this will help in the water removed from the interstitium. Then so now that means when it is passing, when the filtrate is passing through the interstitium, now the water is not there, so that will cause a hyperosmolarity. Okay, then whatever the solutes is there, so that get trapped and recirculate again and again. So here what will happen, the sodium chloride is coming out, so while going to ascending limb, the sodium chloride will enter here, so here it will going out, so like this there will recirculate again and again. So this trapping of solutes in the medullary interstitium, so its concentration, the hyperosmolarity can be maintained. Okay, so these are the result of this mechanism. So the thing is, the counter current exchanger so will be helpful in maintaining the medullary osmolarity of 1200. So otherwise mainly it will maintain the whatever the counter current multiplier is generating. So counter current multiplier will create a hyperosmolarity. So counter current exchanger will maintain that high hyperosmolarity of the filtrate. Okay. So same thing, so when the blood enter the efferent arteriole, so here 300, so now the water is coming out and sodium chloride is going inside, so that will cause increase the osmolarity. So now while it is passing through the ascending limb, so this is ascending limb, so sodium chloride is coming out and water is entering, so the osmolarity go on decreasing. Okay, so that will helpful in maintaining the 1002 medullary osmolarity. So that is about the counter current exchanger. So finally the filtrate which is leaving the vasa recta, not filtrate, the plasma which is leaving the vasa recta may have an osmolarity of 325 mg. So you can see here, so it is go on decreasing, so 300. So it will finally, when it is going to the vein, so it become only 325 milliosmolar per liter. That means same. So the inflow of plasma here and here, so it becomes same. So while passing through the descending limb, so it become increasing. So while in going to ascending limb, it will decreasing like that. So the counter current mechanism, these two mechanism helps to conserve the water, okay, helps to conserve the water without the expenditure of much energy, and also helps in facilitation of water absorption in collecting duct or collecting tubules. So here the ATP is not using, just by movement of the ions, solutes and water will helps to maintain the helps for the concentration of urine, okay, or conserve the water. So that's complete the counter current mechanism or concentration of urine. If the question is concentration of the urine, so you have to write both the mechanism, okay, counter current multiplier and counter current exchanger.